What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Fire Emblem. Today we have Chapter 28, Valorous, Roland. And I promise this episode will not be as long as the last couple ones. I promise. At least I really hope so, anyways. Last time around, Eliwood obviously promoted, finally. And so now we have to unlock the kind of special weapons that we need to defeat Nurgle. Now, if you are playing on Hector's mode, you actually have a different mission in the place of Valorous Roland. Or should I say... Valorous Roland. And what is interesting about that is that it also means that Valorous Roland is the only mission that is exclusive to Eliwood's mode. Whereas Hector gets a handful that are exclusive to his mode. Obviously? I mean, that shouldn't be surprising. Wait, he wants the dragons to claim their quintessence? He doesn't want to, like, control them, he just wants to make himself super powerful. That's kind of egotistical. It's not enough that you can control dragons, you want to be stronger than a dragon. What does that even mean? He doesn't need her acquiescence. Hmm? So she's not human. I guess we kind of knew she wasn't human already, but... Interesting. Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess we're supposed to be looking for the Blazing Blade, which this seems like a appropriate place to find such a sword. Durandal, huh? Power to cut down dragons. Okay. That's kind of creepy. And if you recall, the Blazing Blade is also the subtitle of this game. Obviously, it doesn't have a subtitle in the North American release, but it's called, in Japanese, it's called Fire Emblem Rekka no Ken. Rekka no Ken being the, I guess, untranslated form of Blazing Blade, or Sword of Fire, or whatever you want to call it. So before we get into any of the preparations, let's take a look at the map. So basically, this is a fairly small mission, and the goal is to get up here. We have the boss here, Georg, who is quite powerful. We don't actually have to kill him, though. We only have to step on his spot that he is currently standing. So obviously that means that he is capable of moving. But anyways, as you can kind of see, this mission is kind of segmented into 3 different areas here. So we have Eliwood going down this central path on his own here. And then... okay, so there's a path down here for these 2 on the right. There's the 2 on the left, and then they kind of meet up in the end here. So this is kind of like the trial, as they've said. So, the first thing we need to do is... Well, obviously we have to use Eliwood for this mission. I don't need the Worm Slayer, but I believe I will grab a Steel Lance. Do I want to do that? Well, let's take a look at his path here. No, not formation. Oh, whatever. There doesn't really appear to be any especially big reason to use a spear here. There is a knight, but I'm not especially worried about a knight. He doesn't look all that dangerous, so... No, not pick unit. I guess I will abandon the... I want the steel sword. I'll grab the steel sword. I will grab the speed wings, and I will also... Do I want to grab an elixir? I need Eliwood to have some form of healing. The thing to note about this map as well is that there are no... Merlinus doesn't join us here. And a bunch of these enemies will actually drop items, so we have to be careful to make sure we have enough inventory space to actually get those items. So he drops some elixirs. I believe... Yeah, he drops a rapier. He also drops elixirs. Does anyone else drop anything? Ooh, he has a bolting tome. That's unfortunate. The boss drops the tomahawk. A couple other guys seem to drop elixirs as well. I'm not sure why they would give elixirs on those side paths. It doesn't seem like those paths really need them quite as much. But whatever the case. I think that I will give him the elixirs that I have. And then maybe just to consolidate inventory space, what I'll do is just give him a silver sword. Instead of splitting it between iron and steel swords. Just to double check. He does have 9 constitution, so he can wield the silver sword without a weight penalty. Or attack speed penalty, rather. So now we just have to choose who to send down the other 2 paths. We want Sarah on at least one path, and I guess probably Nino down another path. And what we'll do is... give Nino a heal staff. Sarah's fine. Then I have to choose my bruisers who are going to take the other path. Why does Florina not have any equipment? It doesn't especially matter, but just in case I forget, let's give her some stuff to hit people with. I guess it's some lance. Actually, no. Let's give her a iron sword. Okay, so who am I going to send down the other path? Well, let's see what we have here. On this left path, we have primarily magic users. And on this right path, we have a lot of archers. So, let's send Rebecca to deal with the archers. And who has good resistance? Should I just go with Canis? I feel like he would just not be able to kill the magic users. Raven doesn't have very good resistance. Should I go with Hector? I think I will go with Hector, because there might be some situations where Hector can actually give his support bonus to Eliwood, so that might come in handy. And switch these two, I think. I'm assuming Nino has more defense than Sarah. Yeah, a little bit. She also has a way more avoidance, so that's good. Okay, so that is what we're gonna go with. So, as I mentioned, oh, why are you talking to me, Hector? Well, that's why you're here, because of your support bonus. So anyways, as I mentioned, if you're playing on Hector's mode, you actually have a different map here, so I might as well outline what that looks like a little bit. I don't actually know what the map looks like, but the concept for his map is pretty similar to this one. So our goal here is to prove that Eliwood is... what's the word? He's like... why can't I think of the word? Worthy. He's worthy of wielding the Durandal, which is one of those like legendary weapon things. However, if we're on Hector's mode, we have a map called the Berserker, in which Hector is doing a similar thing. He is proving that he is worthy of wielding a legendary axe by the name of Armads. So, yeah. And wow, it just says claim a space for our mission objective? That's kind of weird. It's not very descriptive. But for the time being, there's no rush in this mission, so I'm just gonna kind of edge forward a little bit here. I feel like Hector's hand axe is probably gonna get a bit of a workout this mission here. And the time being, I'm just gonna have Eliwood use these speed wings. Part of the reason I'm a little bit hesitant to have Eliwood move up quite yet is because the surrounding paths have... wow. That's a great start to the mission here. Took a hit already. So the paths on either side of Eliwood have a lot of units with ranged attacks. And obviously the walls here are kind of thin, so... the idea is that if I can avoid the people on the outsides attacking Eliwood, then that is what I'm going to try and do, because he's got a bit of a task as it is, so I don't need to make that any harder than it needs to be. Oh, you've got a longbow, do you? And you would not do any damage to Rebecca? Her defense is not especially good. That's also something to be mindful of. They're a little hard to see, but there are these little spots that are slightly red. And those spots, anyone standing on one of those spots at the end of their turn will receive 10 damage. So, gotta watch out for that. So anyways, my goal is to kind of keep my side groups a little bit further along than Eliwood's, just to kind of clear out anyone that would hit him from the sides. Keep his path as simple as possible. These guys are really pathetic so far. Of course, people like these warriors will be a little bit more difficult. Even they aren't that strong, though, for a promoted unit. So, being mounted, he has a movement ability of 7 now. Luckily, I'm wielding my rapier, so I should be able to take this guy on. And my luck is not going so well so far. 2 for 2 for getting hit by opponent attacks. That's not especially surprising because Eliwood's kind of terrible, but it's definitely unfortunate. We're definitely going to have to try and make him a little bit less terrible by the end of the game, which unfortunately is rapidly approaching. So we don't have a whole lot of time to do it in. But with any luck, hopefully Hector's amazingness will be able to offset Eliwood's terribleness. I've actually come to think of it. I think I'll abandon the elixir. Ouch. It's actually just occurred to me that it might be in your interest when you're setting up this mission to actually incorporate someone who has either a warp staff or a flying unit. Because obviously, if you have a warp staff, then you would be capable of sending someone into another lane if you needed to. And if you had a flying unit, you could ferry people or items across these gaps here. So that might be something that is worth considering. For the time being, just gotta deal with these guys, who are not worth very much experience at all. He's just got a steel bow. As much as I want to make this middle path easier for Elliewood, I don't really want to, like I could take this guy out from this side, but that's not really something that I want to do. I want to make his path easy, but I don't want to deny him experience that he could otherwise get. So, let's see. He could do 8 damage, and he has 20 attack, so 8 and 5 and 9. 8 and 5 is 13, and 9 is 22. So if all those hits connect, Elliewood could possibly die. So I'm just going to have Elliewood stay put for now. Because where he is standing, only 2 of the guys can actually hit him. Okay. It wasn't likely that all 3 would actually be able to hit him, but given my luck so far in this mission, I was not going to take any chances. These guys never stood a chance against Rebecca. Although they did break her iron bow. You stand even less of a chance against Nino. Just kill him in a single shot. And she has a 21% hit chance, like, au naturel. That's ridiculous, man. Ugh. It burns! That guy's almost dead. Okay. I wonder how much damage does this do? 27. I'm not especially worried about these guys hitting him at this point. I plan to use an elixir before I face the warrior in this section of the map anyways, so... I guess a little bit of speed is going to come in handy. He could definitely use a little bit of that. We've kind of established already how important speed is. 1, 2... Place Hector there, then he can give his support bonus to Elliewood. Probably not going to need it against the single fighter, but I might as well. I honestly don't remember Hector taking any damage, but whatever. Just going to move Rebecca up a little bit. That should force the archer to step back to attack me, which isn't especially important, but it's a thing that'll happen. Gotta be careful in that little section on the right there, because there's only certain spots that you can stand where you're not going to get lava'd. That sound made it seem like the lava got a critical hit somehow? That's kind of weird. I'm not sure why more guys aren't attacking Elliewood here. Move up a tad. You could also have a staff user use a physics staff to heal Elliewood, because physics is a long-range staff. So what I think I'll do here... They're kind of daring me to stand on the lava here. So what I will do is I will oblige them, but do it with a character who is capable of receiving a heal. Because obviously, you can't use a staff on yourself, whereas I can use a staff on Nino. Well, that bolting is kind of scary, but at the same time, 8 damage is not especially high, so... Man, these mages are just getting killed by the stupid fire. So this guy using bolting? No, it's well, obviously not him. Is this Sage? Yeah, okay. Might actually be a good idea to just have Hector sit near Eliwood for enough turns to consume the uses of that bolting tome. I'm a little hesitant about actually moving forward at this point, honestly. Okay, so let's move up here. Have Nino move up as well, and heal up Rebecca. Nino's a healer! He can do damage to Hector! 1 whole damage. I don't know when Hector became such a ridiculous magic tank. I guess maybe he's not ridiculous so much, but he's like not ridiculous, if that makes any sense. Oh man, you've got a longbow. How will I ever manage? I want to kill this fighter, but he doesn't want to come after me. So I guess what I'll do is just try and go after this guy instead. I'm not sure if he's gonna move either. I feel like I've been standing in one of the positions where, like one of these spots already, but just to be safe, let's position ourselves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't quite reach him from there. So what I think I'll do is maybe wait until I take out that guy with the bolting before I approach the warrior. Because that's kind of, I wouldn't say the root of what I'm afraid of at this point, but I'm concerned that taking on this guy will drain a lot of Eliwood's health, at which point he may be low enough that an unlucky hit of the bolting will be enough to take him out. It's probably... oh, it might not end up being that way, but ultimately it comes down to if there's the risk of that happening, then you might as well not take said chance. Oh man, 13 defense. It's almost like Rebecca's a real... I actually don't know where I was going with that sentence. Oh, well that one finally hit. So I guess my fears were vindicated a little bit there. So there should be 2 uses left on the bolting. How far can he actually reach with that? I think what I'll do is retreat for now. Alright, Hector took 1 damage. I'm not going to waste durability on 1 HP. Sarah doesn't need experience that badly. And staffs don't actually give promoted units all that much experience. So, yeah. So these 2 are basically done with their path here. Oh. And Hector's probably just going to kill this guy. Which is actually a little bit unfortunate. I would have really liked to give that experience to Eliwood. Oh well. It was a good level up, at least. And I guess he has an S in axes now, so that's also good. And another elixir that I'm gonna have to ditch. Unless I just ditch this iron axe. Let's do that. I got plenty of iron axes. Zap. Or no zap. Okay. Take care of you. So that's both of the sides cleared out, so it's basically all down to Elliewood at this point. I was gonna move Elliewood and I kind of forgot. Somehow. So, elixirs restore your HP to full. Now, let's actually move Hector down here. He's standing on a lava spot, but that should be that should allow him to give his support bonus to Elliewood, which should help taking on this warrior. If he's actually going to attack me. Okay, well I guess I have to go after him. Oh, and apparently taking this guy out is nowhere near as hard as I was expecting. I guess I kind of mentioned how he was like a surprisingly weak promoted unit, but still expected a little bit more than that. And I can just move off of that lava spot, so that's convenient. So I guess now these guys should start moving forward. Heal up with the lava damage. Oh, this guy's gonna come after me. Ah, almost took me out in one shot. I'd really like to preserve the durability on the silver sword as much as I can. But in the end of the day, I'm probably going to end up spending a whole bunch of my money on silver swords. Well, silver weaponry. When I get... I was going to say closer to the end of the game. We're pretty close as it is, but when I get a little bit further, I guess. So, use the rapier when I can. I'm not as concerned about breaking the rapier, considering that's quite the critical hit. But the last Myrmidon there also gives us a rapier for killing him. So considering we will be getting the replacement almost immediately, more than immediately, before the current one even breaks. Might as well move these guys up a little bit. Ah, took damage. I don't think that will ultimately matter. What level is he now? 3? Yes. So let's see. He has 11 defense. This guy has 40 attack. So that reduces any incoming hits to 29, which he would be able to survive. Okay. So, I want to be careful about moving Elliewood up, just because... obviously there is no wall blocking the way here, whereas there are cracks in the wall blocking the way on either side here. Rebecca's probably more capable of busting down walls. Oh, that's a pretty sturdy wall. Why? Oh, Hector has 48 HP, not the wall. Derp. Nino might as well help bash this thing down. So, like I said previously, you don't actually have to kill this guy. You just have to stand on the spot where he is currently standing. So if we can draw him out to move somewhere else, Elliewood can just kind of swoop in and stand on the spot and win. But when it comes down to it, I would like to try and kill him. Ideally with Elliewood, but if I can give his experience to anyone, it'll be a boon. But obviously, taking him out will probably be a little difficult, just because he is pretty strong. I don't think he's quite as strong as, say, Lloyd. Was it Lloyd? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lloyd's the Swordmaster. But still. Okay, so I think what I will do here is I don't want to draw him down here because that'll trap Eliwood in. So let's move Hector up here. Let's move Sarah up. And I don't want to move either of those two up because he'll just go for them, whereas I want him to go for Hector. I think his hand axe broke? No, it's got one use left. The other guy has a tomahawk, which also doubles as a ranged weapon. So the point is he can actually counterattack the tomahawk. Unfortunately, Eliwood cannot reach all the way up there in a single shot. I guess for now what I'll do is go there. Let's see. 40 attack? So she would take 34 damage. What's this crit chance like? Actually pretty high. Or not? I mean, I know, like, there's a hidden statistic by the name of critical hit chance reduction. But still. Okay, well, let's see what happens. No one should die. Okay, well, Eliwood didn't even get hit. So let's start by healing up Hector. I kind of have to kill the guy now, considering that he's kind of blocking Eliwood's path to success here. So the best option is probably to try and weaken him up with Hector. Steel Axe is going to do the most damage. Let's see, Steel Axe I would do 38, which would bring him down to 8. How much damage do I need to do? Okay, so as long as I bring him down to 33 health? Or do 33 damage, rather. So the Steel Sword will do 34, so that should be sufficient. Or I could just get a critical hit. You know, as much as critical hits are awesome, they're really inconvenient sometimes. Oh well, Hector had to get up in levels at some point anyways. At least his broken hand axe means that he can grab the tomahawk, which thankfully never used up any durability. Anyways, just step on the spot here, and we're done. Yeah, the guys seem kind of insane. A reunion of sorts. I guess Athos says to meet with the soul of Roland. He looks kind of strange. I guess maybe not strange, but not quite what I would expect. Well, that's unfortunate. Everyone's descended from your blood. Everyone in Lycia, anyways. Well, okay then. Who do you think it was? Holy jeez, Eliwood, are you that dense? And so with that, we obtain... obviously Durandal. Why is the text going so slow and why can I not control it? I hate it when games do this. That is weird. Although that's kind of like the Monikati, which, now that I think about it, is actually still around, isn't it? What? Watch out! Something's coming? What does that even mean? Just all of a sudden, dragon! Where did that even come from? What? I really don't get what's going on right now. So what, you just, like, felled this dragon in one swoop? I realize that the Durandal is supposed to be for killing dragons, but that must have been one weak-ass dragon. Also, it seems kind of strange to me that a sword of fire would be the ideal weapon to fight a dragon with. Oh, I guess if it's an ice dragon, whatever that means. Wait a second. What's going on here? Blackheart! Ninian proved useless? Oh, he had to grab Niles, okay. Why is Eliwood just black? That's... I don't know what's going on with that, but it's kind of amusing. Huh? What? Question what? Because they're magic! Well, we kind of figured that Niles and Ninian are not human. I don't know, why not? Okay, well, Eliwood just being black here is actually kind of annoying now. So what you're saying is Ninian is a dragon. And assumedly, so is Niles. I think he's saying that the dragon you just killed is Ninian. Which might explain why it was such a pathetic dragon. How it got here is kind of confusing. I guess Nergal teleported it? I mean, it seems kind of strange that he can just teleport dragons all over the place, but whatever. We get the point. Eliwood killed Ninian. You can stop having your slow text now, please. A whole lot of exposition can be annoying at the best of times, but when they force us to have the stupid frickin' slow-ass text that we have no control over, it's even more annoying. Well, at least Eliwood's finally not black anymore. Which is a very strange thing to say, but you know what I mean. Yep, that's Ninian alright. At least we know Durandal works. Don't mind me, I'm not even gonna get off my horse. I'm a what is this class? Great Lord now? This horse is permanently attached to my body. It's even there when I sleep. What do you think you've done? Of course she can't answer you. Oh man. I feel like between slightly inferior dialogue and the forced slow text, the impact of this scene is kind of less than it could have been. This music's pretty awesome though. I will see you perish in flame! Whoa. Forblaze versus Ereshkigal. This is quite the duel. Although obviously Athos stood no chance. However, you only have 40 health, whereas Nergal has 75. I mean, you took damage. Not a lot, but you took damage. Is that really necessary? Just an entire text box full of ha's. Ha 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 ha. What's that supposed to mean? That they were both, like, taking the path to becoming, like, magical beings that aren't quite human? You know, if Nergal's so ridiculously powerful, it almost makes me wonder why he even needs all these armies of completely pathetic henchmen. Yes, she's dead. We've established this quite thoroughly. You know, this scene is, like, longer than the mission at this point. Like, I don't think it's actually that... Like, I don't think that's actually the case, but it feels like it. Like, the actual mission is actually quite short. But anyways, that is the end of Ninian, but we have obtained the Durandal. So, I guess we'll see what we're going to do with it on the next episode of Let's Play Fire Emblem. Catch you later.